Hello folks, how you doing? Glad to be with you. I have a video that I'm going to make a video now. It has to do with totemic structure, a totemic lifestyle. Ancient folks lived totemic. Some people may do today, but the ancient folks, you say maybe 1,000,000 years ago. Yeah, some people say no, but yeah, they lived in, well, totemic societies. Okay, well, we'll start this off with the god Tim, a Kimite god called Tim. He was the closer of the day. He's the god who we might see with a lotus on his head, but closed, because the lotus opens at the beginning of the day, sunrise. It opens up its petals. At the end of the day, when the sun goes down, the totem, or the flower, the lotus, closes its flowers, indicating the whole thing, the whole day. The closure of the day marks the whole day, right? So this was the god Tim. So we see in totem, we have T-O-T in totem, the total, the whole thing. Okay? And so we have Totem, the god Tim, represents the total, the whole thing. So now we're talking about totemism now. We're talking about a human society, okay? So the totemic society was a communal society. Everybody lived together. It was the whole thing. It was a society that you could say was designed to avoid stress. Stress is a horrible thing. But it was designed to avoid stress, which can come in different ways. Usually associated with society. It's the way it is. So a stress-free society would be like a utopia. And this is what the totemic structure of society, communal life, was actually designed to be like. You know, everybody was for everybody, stress-free. So now we say that one of the main causes of stress has to be with sex. Sex is one of the main stressors. Well, you know, it depends on the society you live in, actually. But to avoid this, in the totemic society, like I said, everybody was for everybody. So when a woman, for example, had a feeling for romance, she could go out and just pick a man. Just take him a guy. Take him home. Same way, if a man was in the mood for romance, he'd just go pick a woman and take her home. There was no marriage. So the totemic structure, they weren't married. Does this mean that non-marriage alleviates stress or avoids stress? Well, for them, I guess it did. Oh, anyway, so everybody's for everybody. The mother knew who her children was, but the father, nobody knew who the father was. It could have been anybody. And it depends on how often the woman wanted sexual relief. You see? So there were no fathers. Everybody knew who the mother was, though. So we see now that, at least in this way, that stress could be alleviated, because there was no women going around saying, oh, I need a man, I need a man. And there was no men going around saying, oh, I need a woman, I need a woman. And they were available. They were there with totemic law. And to break totemic law was taboo. And taboo could cause you great problems. You see. Because if a person committed taboo and got kicked out of the communal system, had to go out into the forest or the desert or somewhere alone, that was certain death back in those days. That was death in more than one way. Well, here's a person that commits taboo, get kicked out of the system, but this is a person that was raised in a society where everybody came together to support everybody. Everybody came together to support the community. Community first. Okay? So now, his social structure is gone. His communal structure. So this bothers him socially. He's out there in the wilderness by himself because he committed taboo. So if it bothers him socially, it's going to bother him psychologically too, and this brings on great stress. You see. So people didn't commit taboo. It was a life sentence. Okay. So now, when the women, for example, went foraging for berries or food or whatnot, some of them would have children. Sometimes they would leave their children behind with a nursing mother, a mother who's producing milk. And she would nurse all the babies while the mothers went out and did the foraging. The babies were like her babies. But everybody was for everybody. You see. Now, we find this here in, we wonder where the people got these ideas from. The totemic people, way back there. Well, we find the same principle operating in the lion pride. The lionesses go out and do the hunting. And sometimes they have cubs. And they're able to leave these cubs behind with a lioness. A nursing lioness. And this lioness would nurse all the cubs as they were her own. You see? Well, we see now the parallel between what the lion pride was doing and what the humans were doing back in totemic times. You see? But now, the Kimite mythology, or the ancient Egyptian mythology, is derived from natural facts. It is derived from what the human beings did in the earliest times of our species. You see, this is where the mythology comes from. It is based on what our ancient ancestors did. Therefore, the mythology is representative of ancient human beings and how they lived their lives, the natural facts. You see, so we see how the lion pride is involved. We see how the ancient humans were involved. And we bring it on up into the mythology what people can read today. So we'll take, for example, we've all heard of Osiris and Isis, or Osset and Asar, and then there's Nephthys. Okay, well, we use the Greek term as Isis. So Isis wanted the child, so she conceived by Osiris. Husband, brother, whatever you want to call him. Sometimes they call him either one. Okay, so she conceived. But Nephthys was supposed to be her sister or daughter, usually sister. Nephthys nourished the child. You see the parallel? We had two, Isis and Nephthys, who were actually one. Okay? You have two characters of the same individual. Okay? So now, because totemic society was one, you see, all the women were the same. just one society. So when Isis and Nephthys, Isis conceived, Nephthys nursed. So in totemic society, when a woman conceives a child and she goes out to forage, she can leave the child back with the nurse. They were all one. And the nurse would nurse all the children. See, just like Nephthys nursed Isis' child, Heru. The same thing. Same thing the lions did. So this tells us that mythology is drawn from the ancient natural facts. What happened during ancient times. Now, like I say, the society was strict. And if you broke the communal law, what we call a taboo. And when a person commits taboo and is kicked out, he goes through big trouble. It is like a death to him. And so I'd heard an African gentleman talking not too long ago, and he urged the people in Africa to go back to totemism. It was a utopia. We can understand why now. You see. Okay, folks. Thank you for listening, and subscribe. Get back with me. I have a lot more to talk about. And have a good day. All right. Bye-bye.